Hi guys, today I'm going to do a top 5 products to make your makeup last all day video. So this is just my little selection of a few products that I use that really help to keep my makeup looking perfect all day and keeps everything in place, things don't move around and you don't have to do too much touching up, which is great because there's nothing I hate more than going to the mirror at lunchtime and noticing like you've got mascara halfway down your face. That's never good. So these are a few of my top picks to stop stuff like that happening. Let's start off with a good clean base to put your foundation onto. So I like to use a nice primer, and my top choice at the moment is the Benefit Professional, which is just a sort of really lightweight primer. You can apply it all over your face or just in problem areas, and it just kind of smooths over everything. It gets rid of like pores, hence why it's called Professional. It kind of like fills them in a little bit and fine lines kind of look reduced, and it just gives you like a nice smooth base to start working on. It's slightly tinted, but once you rub it in you can't see it at all, so there's no need to worry about like matching it to your skin tone or anything. Just looks like that, and it feels so soft once you rub it in. It's like, it is really like silky, like you can't see it. It just like disappears, but your skin just feels so soft, and it gives you like a really good base to start from, which means that your makeup will apply more evenly, and it also helps it to stay in place longer so it doesn't like slip and slide around. So a primer is a definite must for me. Even if I'm just doing quite simple makeup, I'll always put on a primer. So Professional is great. Have a look at that one. The next thing I would suggest is using a foundation which is quite long wearing and long lasting. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be really heavy or cakey or really sort of full coverage, but just use something that is specifically designed to last all day. Obviously on some days you might want to use something a bit more dewy, and that's fine, but if you're specifically wanting your makeup to last all day, if you know you're going to be out all day, then look for something that's going to stay put throughout whatever you're doing. So my suggestion would be Estee Lauder's Double Wear Light. If you need more coverage, you could try the original Double Wear, or there's also a Maximum Cover Double Wear if you need loads and loads of coverage, but for me I find this one is plenty coverage. It's just a really nice formula, really lightweight, but it does give good coverage. It just evens everything out, but it doesn't sort of give you like a mask. It's just really nice and lightweight. Kind of hard to tell on here, but you can see there it's not blended in very well, so it looks like it's a different colour, but it does kind of cover up like beauty marks and freckles and that sort of thing. I find that this gives just like the perfect natural finish. It doesn't look too matte and it doesn't look too dewy, it's just kind of in the middle. It looks really pretty. This is my sort of like everyday foundation. It is quite expensive, but it is like a high-end foundation, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It does, it says Double Wear Light Stay in Place Makeup, and it really does stay in place. Like other foundations, they tend to like slide around a little bit by the time it gets to sort of the end of the day, but this I can wear all day and then go out in the evening and there's no need to touch up. It still looks perfectly fine. So really love this foundation. I've been using it for about 4 years now and it's perfect. I absolutely love it. I've just recently actually done a review of it on my blog, so I'll link that down below if you want to go and have a proper read about it. Next thing I always use to make my makeup stay in place all day is a good powder. Not everyone likes to use powder because lots of people seem to prefer a dewy finish, but personally I hate looking like dewy, so I always put on a powder. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't use powder and still look a bit dewy. what you've got to do is just apply it in the right places and not apply too much of it. So what I use is the Chanel loose powder, natural finish loose powder. Oh, it looks kind of dirty, doesn't it? This is the shade Clear Translucent. It comes with a powder puff, but I actually apply it with a brush, which I will come on to in a minute, because that is my number 4 top tip. It's just, I don't want to tip it up because it will probably spill everywhere, but it's just a really fine, like finely milled powder, which just gives you a really natural finish. It doesn't look like you're wearing powder at all. I've got it on just now, and my skin, it still looks pretty like dewy and, well, not quite dewy, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look powdery. It's just really, really nice, and I only apply it to the bits of my face that really need powdering, so along my nose, the sides of my cheeks and chin, and if I've got any like blemishes, I'll just pop a little bit over my concealer to stop my concealer sort of sliding. So yeah, this powder is so good. This is the best powder I've ever used. It is really expensive, but I definitely think it's worth it, and it also comes in a massive tub. You get 30 grams in this tub, which is going to last for absolutely forever. It's just a really, really great powder. Even if you have quite dry skin or you prefer a dewy look, I would still suggest using powder, because it really does help your makeup stay in place. Obviously don't use too much of it, and only don't do like your whole face, just do like the little bits in the centre where you tend to get oily or your makeup tends to slide the most. So yeah, love this so much. I've done a review of it, which was a bit of a rave review. I absolutely love it. It's great. Go and buy it now. And on to my number 4 product for keeping your makeup in place all day. This is not a makeup product, but a makeup tool, I guess. It's one of the Real Techniques brushes, which I love, as does everyone. They're really great. And this is the setting brush, which is just a really small brush with sort of like an angled tip, which is great for applying powder. I prefer using a little brush like this rather than a big sort of fluffy powder brush, because with a big powder brush it kind of goes everywhere, and you're kind of you're not really buffing it into the skin. It just kind of ends up sort of flying about everywhere. But with this you can really sort of press it in. It's a bit more like using a powder puff, but in brush form. So you just sort of like, wherever you need it, you can just sort of like roll it onto the skin and sort of press it in. I don't know why I'm doing this. You obviously know what that looks like. But yeah, you can just sort of like press it into the skin, which helps to give you like the coverage and make sure the product stays, but it doesn't end up looking really powdery and like you've put on loads. It's also great because it fits into really like small spaces, so I always need to powder like around my nose because my foundation tends to like slip from there, so it's great for like getting in around your nose, and also underneath your eyes, because I tend to put a little bit of powder to set my concealer just to make sure it doesn't move around. So it's great for doing underneath the eyes. So it's just a great all-round powder brush, and I also love that it's really small, so you can easily fit it in your bag. Like powder brushes, they tend to be like the size of your hand sometimes, which is a bit of a pain to carry around with you, but if you do want to take powder out with you, this is great. I don't actually tend to take powder out with me because of my steps. I find my makeup doesn't really need touching up throughout the day at all, but if you did want to, this would be great for shoving in your bag. And then on to my final product. This is a setting spray. This one is from Urban Decay, and it's the All Nighter setting spray. This is really good at sort of making your makeup sort of sink into your skin a bit more, and if you have put on like a lot of powder products, not even just like powder, but if you been wearing like powder blush or bronzer or something, this just helps to make it sort of sink into your skin a bit more and just look really natural. And at the same time it sort of locks all your makeup in and prevents it from like slipping or fading or transferring throughout the day. I really like using this. It also feels really refreshing on your skin. You know, sometimes in the morning when you're doing your makeup you can feel a bit like, oh, I'm so not ready for the day, but then you spray this on and you instantly feel like wide awake. It's so good. It really does help like stop your makeup from like slipping off. Like I did an experiment one day where I sprayed one half of my face and left the other half normal, and there was like a definite difference. So I would really suggest getting a setting spray like this. I did try an e.l.f. one which was kind of similar, but I found it didn't really have much of an effect, so I would definitely suggest getting the Urban Decay one. It is a bit more expensive. I think this was £19, but it's a pretty big bottle and you only need like 2 sprays to do your whole face, so I think it's going to last for quite a long time, so that was a really good investment buy, I think. So yeah, that is my top 5 product suggestions for making your makeup stay in place all day, which is something I think everyone wants. Going to the mirror and doing touch-ups is really not particularly fun, and you don't want your makeup to like sort of be half melted off your face when you get to